Hello everyone, welcome to 6.8, Subtraction with Renaming. The essential question is, how can you use renaming to find the difference of two mixed numbers? So what you need to know is every whole number is a fraction with the numerator and denominator equal. For example, 2 over 2 is equal to 1, or you could say one whole number is the same as 3 over 3, or 5 over 5, or 10 over 10. As long as both the numerator and denominator are the same, it equals a whole number. So, we got a couple examples today, only 2 examples. Let's go ahead and get started. The first, and the reason why we need to know about this renaming, is that's also known as regrouping. So when we subtract, we're going to have to use the whole numbers in order to regroup. And I'll show you what I mean with the first example. So the first example is 2 1/2 minus 1 5 over 6. Okay, I'm going to put the whole numbers to the side for now. I'm not actually going to subtract them yet because I might need to use them still. So I'm going to put those over here. Okay, and I'm just going to deal with the fraction itself. 1/2 minus 5 over 6. Well, I know that 2 goes into 6 3 times. So I know that 2 goes into 6 when I multiply it by 3. And whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do the top, which means that 1/2, okay, when I multiply it, it's going to be 3 over 6, because I multiply the 3, or the 1 by 3, and the 2 by 3. Okay? And that gets me 3 over 6 minus 5 over 6. Now here's the issue. 3 is smaller than 5. So what I have to do is I have to regroup. I have to take something away from the whole number that it's attached to, which is the 2. Okay? So if you need to pause right now, go ahead and pause, because I'm going to erase and I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay? So, alright? Hopefully you paused. So right now I have 2 and 3 over 6, because I converted the 1/2, minus 1 and 5 over 6. Okay? Well, this 3 is smaller than the 5, so I have to convert. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go next door and I'm going to borrow. Okay? I'm going to take something from it. Okay? Now, when I told you that every whole number is the same if the numerator and denominator are the same, right? Like 1 equals 2 over 2. Well, right now, what I'm going to do, instead of 2 over 2, I'm going to say that the 1 equals 6 over 6, because my denominators for these are 6. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of my 1's, okay? I'm going to add it, 6 over 6 plus 3 over 6, which is this fraction right here, okay? And that equals 9. Oh, let me use, not my highlighter. That equals 9 over 6. And since I took a whole number out, which is the 6 over 6, I got to take this and change it to 1, because I took a whole number out. So now I'm going to use a different color. Now I have 1 and 9 over 6 minus 1 and 5 over 6. And I can do this now. Okay? I know 1 minus 1 is 0, so those cancel out. And I know 9 minus 5 is 4 over 6, because the denominator stays the same. Okay? And that we can stop right there, but we could also make that into simplest form by taking a 2 out of the 4 and a 2 out of the 6, which would make it 2/3. Okay? And that's the fraction in simplest form, 2 over 3. If you have 4 over 6, though, for now, that's totally okay. Okay? If you have this as your fraction, that's okay. But 2 over 3 is the fraction in simplest form. Okay? So, you need to make sure, one of the steps that I actually didn't write down, but since every whole number is the fraction with the numerator and denominator equal, you need to take, if this numerator here is smaller than the other numerator right here, then you need to add the whole numbers so this numerator can be bigger, okay, and then regroup. Let's go ahead and do another example. Okay, and I'm going to give myself a little bit more space so that I'm not erasing it so much. Okay, Let me go ahead and move this down a little bit, and I'm going to give myself tons of space to work with. All right, perfect. So we have here 6 and 1 over 3 minus 1 and 1/2. Okay, I need to find a common denominator with the 3 and the 2. So I'm just going to multiply them. I know that 3 and 2 have 6. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the 3 by 2 and the 1 by 2. That gets me the 6 here, and 1 times 2 is 2. Okay, so that's going to be 6 and 2 over 6 minus, okay, and instead of 1/2, I'm going to take the 1 and the 2. I'm going to multiply them by 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. So that's going to be 1 and 3, 6. Now, is my numerator smaller than my denominator? Yes, it is. So I need to take 1 out. That changes to a 5. And I'm going to add 6 over 6 plus 2 over 6, which makes it 8 over 6. So now, and I'm going to write this in a new color. Now I have 5 and 8 over 6 minus 1 and 3 over 6. Okay? 5 minus 1 equals 4. Okay? 8 minus 3 equals 5. The denominator stays the same. And this is my final answer because there's nothing you can take out of both the 5 and the 6. So 4 and 5, 6 is my final answer. Okay? I really, really hope you guys get this and it makes sense. If you have any questions, please, please, please let me know. Okay? And that should be the end of the video. If there's any questions, let me know. Okay? Just remember that you need to look at the whole numbers and take 1 out. Okay? And every fraction, or every whole number, is the fraction, okay, with the numerator and denominator the same. Okay? If the numerator here is smaller than this numerator, you need to take 1 out. Alright, I hope that made sense, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.